In this video, I'm going to be talking about putting together your sketchbooks, whether or not you are making your own, as shown in the previous video, or you're using a purchased sketchbook. We're going to have 3 different sections in our sketchbooks, one for what we call our 5-minute draw warm-up drawings, one for any visual journal note taking, and then one section for planning and thumbnail sketches and just free drawing, as well as anything else that you need to do to help support your project creation. So I'm going to show you how to do this in a pre-purchased sketchbook, but you can, of course, use the one that you just made if that's what you did, or however you want to do it. And I'm going to show you how to set this up specifically for just this course. So if you purchase a sketchbook, more than likely you can use it for multiple semesters of middle school art. You don't have to just use it for this semester. However, I am only going to walk you through the steps for setting it up for this semester's course. So I like to put my 5-minute draw section in either the very, very beginning or the very, very end of the sketchbook. And you can make that choice for yourself as far as what makes sense to you, but I like to start every day with the 5-minute draw. And so I would put it in the beginning. And so that's me, but that's my preference. So when you open your sketchbook, I would recommend that you skip the first couple pages. This would be a really great place for you to print out those art vocabulary sheets and the how to start a drawing instructions and literally glue them right in here, so that they are there. And if you're using the one that you made yourself, just 3-hole punch those pages and build it as part of the book. So that is what I would recommend doing. So I'm going to skip a few pages, maybe 3 or 4, and then I'm going to start my 5-minute drawing section. And so for 5-minute draws, they should not be whole page drawings. We do not need to take that much space. They are just like quick little exercises that kind of help you warm up, get your hand warmed up, and start through the day. You're welcome to just divide your paper using a pencil and freehand line drawing. If, though, this bothers you, that they're not perfectly straight, you can also use a ruler. So you just line it up at what you think is the center. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be like it's exactly 4.5 inches. It doesn't matter. This is just to set yourself up so that you are only working in a smaller space each day. And for the 5-minute draws, I recommend that you do both the front and the back sides of the paper. For this class, you are going to need 10 sheets, so that's 20 sides of 5-minute draw paper. So you want to go through and mark these out in your sketchbook, so that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, yada, 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 up to 10. Okay. 10 full page, or 20, 10 full pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is your 5-minute drawing section. This whole thing. We're going to use all of this paper for 5-minute draws this semester. So if you decide that you want to keep the same sketchbook for multiple semesters, you might even do more. So plan for about 10 sheets of 5-minute draws per semester you plan to take art. Other than that, we are going to then skip to the visual journal section. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can skip to a new section. You can decide that you want to use something like little Post-it tabs, or something like that. However, if you don't have those kinds of things, this is another option to create like your own little tab. You can glue a piece of paper that can stick out of the top if you want to do it that way. Or you can just take your sketchbook paper, one page that starts the next section, and fold it up so it sticks out of the top of the sketchbook, and you can decide how much you want it to do, and then simply run a crease. Now, if you're like me right here, I've got this paper folding over the spine. That won't work very well. So I can either cut this off with a pair of scissors or simply fold it back. And then I'm going to label this handy page that I made, since this is now a funky sheet. I'm going to turn this into my section beginning, and I'm going to call this my visual journal notes. And I can make this pretty if I want. Or I can just write it. Okay, so this is kind of the start of my visual journal. And for my visual journal section, I need to make sure that I have at least 7 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I will need all of these pages, but that's if you end up doing front and back. If your paper is a little bit thinner, like this sketchbook paper is just a little thinner than maybe I would like, you will need 14 pages. So you can decide if you plan to do front and back, just 7. If you plan to just do one side, then you need 14. So that's your choice. And then you can skip more if you want to, or you can move on right to the next section right there. And after your 14 pages, then you would have the rest of the sketchbook for your sketching and free drawing and planning idea stuff. So that's how I would go about setting up your your sketchbook, your journal for our art courses.